If you're thinking about snowbirding to Florida, this video is for you. I'm going to share with you some things that my husband and I sat down and put pen to paper on to see if we can make this dream a reality for us. So, first thing is communicate. Communicate with your spouse or significant other or whoever you're going to do this venture with, even if it's yourself. Make sure you're putting those ideas, those dreams on paper. So we sat down and put a budget together. I think in a marriage, finances can come in between that and cause a lot of problems. And we were trying to get ahead of that. So we decided what was our financial footprint and what was that going to look like. And that was staying in a certain type of budget, a monthly payment. Even if we couldn't get it rented out, we still wanted to be able to know that we had that comfort of knowing that mortgage payment was going to get paid every month. So putting a budget, putting a plan, your goals, putting that on paper. Even if you're dreaming and dreaming big, I say still put it down on a piece of paper, because what more fun would it be than to dream with your significant other? So that's what we did, and that's what started our process. Brand new townhouse. Granted, it's a townhouse, but it's brand new, and we got it for $293,000, and it's a 3.2 That townhouse would go here 500,000 easily because we're right on the water. It has a community pool. We've actually sold one unit to friends that live here, and they snowbirded and they're renting it and they're making money their first year. Yeah, no, we had some friends from Colorado and they're in real estate, and we were telling them about how even though the interest rates are high, you could still afford because the price point there is so different. I mean, you could, like I said, you can get a townhouse for 300,000 out there, brand new. So your maintenance on it is so low. Like, they do lawn care maintenance for you. They do the pool maintenance for you. They do everything there. I think it depends on what do you know what I mean? Like, if your goal is, hey, we want to break even this year and then start making a profit year 2 and 3, I think the townhouse has potential just like a single family does. But I think location, because you're so close to the water, and families are coming because they want the beach life. That's the whole reason they're going in the Emerald Coast areas, because of the beaches. They're hearing about how pristine they are, how the turquoise, the color, you can see through. I mean, you could walk and you're waist deep and you can see through. And I think people they don't want to walk in seaweed and murky and God knows what you're stepping in, right? That's why people choose pools instead of beach, is because it's that type of living. They don't experience water much in Colorado. I mean, Colorado is beautiful, but it's mountain life, right? So Florida they want that beach life. They want that water. They want that staring at endless water for days and dreaming and thinking and processing and, you know what I mean? Like, whatever like, for me, I can just sit in a chair and I can just sit and stare. And I just get so much profound peace doing that. But that's also a lot of time, like, for me with God, like, that's my God time. Like, it's like a lot of people will run. I don't know why would they do that on purpose, but some people do. But I just, that allows me to think. And then, like, now what's our next step? We chose a townhouse just because of the maintenance factor. So when you're not living there and you want something that has deferred maintenance, I think you get peace of mind knowing that the HOA is covering your lawn care. You know what I mean? Your trash and all that stuff. They're covering all of that for you. So that's why we chose deferred maintenance, our first one there. I've done investments with single family, but you're trusting your circle of people to maintain that, So that's why we chose a townhouse. Plus, we're super close to the water, so it made sense to do that. I will say, so you get sand everywhere, though. Even if you're not on the beach, you're going to get sand everywhere. So your next step is you're going to want to get with a lender, somebody that you trust, that's going to seek out your goals, not theirs for you, but your goals. Make sure they're listening to you. Just like when your next step after that is to meet with a real estate agent, make sure they're listening to you and what you want for you and your family and for your investment portfolio. So meet with a lender, somebody that you trust, somebody that's reputable, somebody that you can just dialogue with, because this is a huge process and you need to be able to trust them. So somebody that earns your trust early on and somebody that hears you, I think, is the two things that I look for in lending. So from there, then you're going to seek a real estate agent. And you want somebody that's familiar with the area, somebody that can share stats with you, somebody that can share if you're doing it for school districts, if you're doing it for outdoor living, if you're doing it for location, if you're doing it for price point, neighborhoods, all those demographics and stats you're going to want to share with your real estate agent so they can pull that data for you. And then you're getting true, real, factual information. After you've done that, you've met with your real estate agent, then you really want to hone in on what type of investment property you want. Are you doing this as a second home? so you have somewhere to snowbird to, and that's just where you want to be and nobody else, you may want a single family. If you're doing it from an investment standpoint, you maybe want something that's more deferred maintenance, so you don't have to worry about them having to do any of the things that the HOAs require if there's an HOA. So sometimes people will do furnished finders, or they'll do long-term or short-term investments. So it just depends on what you want your return to be, you know what I mean, on your investment. So for us, we're snowbirding, but we're not renting it out. But we did deferred maintenance, so we didn't have to worry about the upkeep on the home being in Florida. With the weather, with the hurricanes and all that stuff coming in, we wanted to make sure it'd be okay for 30 days if we didn't get back. So that's why we chose that instead of a single family. So if you're having somebody staying in there and living in it, I think a single family might be a fine option. It just depends on which pain points are. I think everybody has a pain point. And mine is I don't want to stress being in Colorado, working and hustling on what my property physically is doing, in a different state that I can't drive down to and get to. So that's why we picked different rates. But another good thing too is duplexes. So if you purchase a duplex, live in one and rent the other, renting that other one could pay for the whole mortgage itself. So I think that's it just depends on what your investment portfolio is. You know what I mean? So if you're wanting to live in one just so you can start getting capital growing, then rent the other one out and make that rent enough to pay for your entire mortgage. Now you're not having a mortgage payment, and you're building your equity and you're building your wealth that way, and having your mortgage pay for itself. Then you can stepstone into, triplexes or fourplexes. When you live in one, it makes the rate better. So your rate's better, then that means that your return on your investment is better from a monthly mortgage standpoint, equity standpoint. So that way you can go back and borrow from that property if you wanted to be able to do another and so forth. So as you grow, I think getting into multifamily up to a fourplex is a beautiful idea. Then if you decide to leave and move, that's okay. The lender just wants to make sure you're not doing it, every 6 months you're doing it. The intent, what you're signing for when you do a loan is your intent is the next 12 months, I plan on staying here. So that intent, that's your intention. I'm Kim, your Florida real estate resource. So not only am I living, eating, and breathing snowbirding, but also I have the ability to help you on the lending side and also on the real estate side. So stay tuned for more, but also contact me at the information below.